I always like when the music stops, I'm never like ready. Welcome to InTheBox collection. Super Francis, Michael, introduce yourself.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Michael, the diehard Celtics fan, as
Die Hard
Francis
Chris
likes to call
Franks.
me.
We'll kick it for a couple minutes before we get let a couple people get into the stream for it. I'm exhausted, by the way. Great day for the NBA. All right.
A lot happened.
I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm more excited about the buyout market. Like it's nuts that there's so many players. Like it used to be like kind of uncommon in my opinion for teams to like just buy out players, but nowadays it's like shit, man. If you don't find yourself in a team, just buy it out. Doesn't matter.
So, do you know who John Hollinger and Nate Duncan are?
I think I know who John Hollinger is.
He used to be a
sure
GM for Memphis.
Yeah.
All right.
Before they blew things up, he was decent, right?
Yeah.
Is he with the Knicks or who is he with right now?
He writes for The Athletic now.
Oh, okay.
He actually talked about that on one of his podcasts, like I think 2 days ago.
Really?
And they were talking about how the buyout market is actually hurting the trade deadline.
Well, of course it is. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who gets traded to where. When you can just, hey, I'm still here. I don't want to be here. My name is Marcus Aldridge. I'm gonna buy it out. Like he's still gonna make it. He's still gonna get his money. So
yeah. So like, I don't know. And something that I think should be brought up is De'Aaron Fox dropped 44 tonight.
Doesn't even surprise me. I mean, it should be surprising though. We'll start out. We'll give it about 2.5 more minutes and kick it in for it. Also gives me a chance to like log it into it. Plus, this is like the fun part of it. Someone just dying over here of dehydration.
It's all good. You don't need water.
All right. Cheers.
Clearly.
By the way, shout out. Thank you, Mia. And thank you, Tessie. And thank you to all of our wives for letting us know that we're able to do this. Because we have too much fun. All right. So I got it here. All right. Perfect. We are on Twitch. Oh, I got to do something on Twitch really quick.
No, you're good.
What's been, I don't know. I have so many questions and I don't want to start too early and too soon. Like, of course, we're going to hit into the trade deadline. Going to talk about winners and losers of it and who may have not, who like, I have like so many questions in terms of like, I feel I had higher expectations for some teams to do more and make more moves, but nothing. They just didn't even do anything. Like Kevin Love still with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Who are you going to convince to take on his contract?
I don't know, man. They took on Chris Paul's contract. And I hate when people talk about contract. It's like, dude, that is a myth. Buy him out. He's not doing very much, and I'm sure he'd rather be in a team when he's not. He's like the only one that can get into the 21 and up club. Like,
I'm pretty sure the only reason he's still in Cleveland is for Cleveland to spite him.
If he took that picture with the other people, like just signed $1 million contract, just signed a huge contract, and everybody's like, "Oh, bro, don't do that."
Did you see that meme that was made? It was, how did it go? It was basically when you rob someone of $100 million and Kevin Love signing the contract.
Yeah.
No, that's not what makes it funny. That's what makes it funny is Colin Sexton liked the photo.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. I remember hearing about that. All right, so we are 5 seconds away from the 5-minute mark, so it means that we can get started into it. I'll tag a couple people into it. It doesn't really matter at this point in time. So, NBA trade deadline, it's officially over.
Yes.
What is your first reaction of it, of everything that just happened? Like, what is the first thing that comes to your mind all day?
So the first thing that actually came to my mind is I'm actually surprised with how many moves happened. Like leading up to the deadline, like it was fairly quiet. Like there was a few names being floated around. Like there was a lot of smoke, but it was about players
Smart
you
and Gordon.
knew.
Well, we knew some of the names are gonna. Now, Kyle Lowry was huge today, but he didn't go anywhere, especially after he called Drake last night.
Well, you mean Drake called him?
It's the same concept, bro. You know that thing was a whole setup. It was a setup. It wasn't like there was no way that they accidentally call each other or they just happen to be that coincidence. No, that thing was on purpose.
No, that was a ploy from freaking Drake. Like, hey, we like you. Don't leave us. Stay.
Oh man, unlike Daniel Diaz that missed that game-winning shot and then he gets traded the next day. I'm not gonna say he got traded because he missed a shot, but I'm saying he got traded because he missed a shot.
I mean, he got traded for two bigs that can shoot. Not saying they're good shooters, but
I mean, at this point in time, we take shooters over anything, right? I mean, Delon Wright and Luka has shooters. So I can. What do you send me if you want? You can send me the link. I have it on ESPN. Every transaction that was made today, but it's not necessarily including like the buyout. So I can share that with people. So that way,
I have the NBA.com trade tracker.
Oh, perfect. All right, I like that one better. So we'll open up that one up right now. And
this has to be really freaking dull.
Who is
used a lot?
So
sorry.
You're good, man. I'm trying to find out. I just got off of work, so I'm exhausted in the first place. But we got to do this. Trade deadline. All right, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna show it to the people so that we can stay on topic, right?
Yeah, because even if we're showing people things, it's not gonna matter. We're still gonna end up off topic anyway.
Yeah, it's actually true. All right, perfect. So we're going to allow that. All right, so we are official into it. So this is the 2021 trade deadline. Out of all these trades, what's the best trade? Who won? Overall, who won?
I think if you're going to say who won, I think the biggest one to me is you have to give props to the Heat.
For what?
And
for not giving up Duncan. Didn't give up Duncan.
They gave up
Tyler Hero.
They gave up Avery Bradley. They gave up Kelly Olynyk, and a pick swap. That's most likely not going to happen for Victor Oladipo. And then I think the more underrated trade that I think is going to be a bigger impact than the Depot trade is actually them trading Mo Harkless and Chris Silva for Bielitsa.
Which they didn't give up anything, and they got Bielitsa. Yeah. I liked it. I like that about it. I like the fact that, but like that is what you respect for the Heat. Like when we're talking about the Heat, we're talking about
Pat Riley,
just plotting on people and plotting on ways to get them back into the finals for it.
So Pat Riley and Danny Ainge have a history of not liking each other, and I get it. I do. Like they didn't like each other when they played, let alone as GMs.
Yeah.
But he low-key pulled off, like Danny Ainge did not have a bad trade when he pulled in Evan Fournier for
what?
Freaking
so it's another team. I guess the teams that won were the teams that did not give up anything, but they still got better. I do believe the Celtics got better.
Oh, definitely. Because, I mean, if you think about it, we gave up a starting center, quote unquote, and he's definitely a serviceable big in the league in Daniel Tice. And
yes,
am I happy about getting Luke Cornett? Not really, because, I mean, I looked him up and he has like next to nothing to show for himself.
Wait, who?
We got Luke Cornett. So
he used to play for he played for the Knicks for a couple. He had a couple. Yeah. I know who that is.
Yeah, he's like a 6'11" shooter basically.
Yeah, he's decent. He's nothing special. Not like a back. Nothing special.
Yeah, no. So the trade that Boston gave up the most it was Daniel Tice and Javonte Green.
Yes.
To me, what hurts more than anything isn't Tice, it's actually Javonte, because he's like a Marcus Smart Jr. You plug him in, he's a freaking high energetic flyer. You know if he goes in, you're going to get a highlight dunk at some point. I mean, like,
it opens up a spot for Robert Williams. Where I really thought they were going to go for Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon was the guy that I really wanted to go. Fournier is serviceable. Like, he's a guard. He's a backup plan for Kemba. He's a backup plan for he's a backup plan, but he shouldn't be. And I think that's what makes that's really what makes the trade for Fournier, that it makes sense, because Wait, I was listening to myself. My bad. Oh, I had to mute myself going to it. So what was going on with this? Oh, yeah. Evan Fournier, because Kemba Walker, he's been having his bit of an injury essentially. Like, he has not been himself, right? So bringing in Fournier, who's not, he's healthy, and also a guy that can score, it gives him another option offensively, especially when Kemba's not there. Now, whether they're going to push him above some teams, I don't think that's going to happen. Fournier's good. The Celtics did get better. They were not, but it's really easy to just move up from Tristan Thompson. And Daniel Theis, like, he's a good center and everything, but they play more small ball than anything else. They can do what? They can do a lot more when they got speed and just focusing on that. Not so much as high. Also, it opens up minutes for Robert Williams. So I know you like that. So, yeah.
So my biggest thing with Evan Fournier coming in is we gave up. You already know how I feel about Jeff Teague, because we're on the same page with that one.
Yeah.
He belongs. Which, it says a lot that he got traded to the Magic, and the Magic literally told him not to report to the team. He was going to be bought out.
Yeah. But so what do they want? They got Cole Anthony. They got like a whole bunch of guards out there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to the Magic's guard situation later, because I have some questions for you.
Ooh, I'm excited.
My thing with us bringing in Evan Fournier is it doesn't change our starting lineup. If anything, it means that we are going to start Robert Williams going forward, which is a good thing. For now. Yeah, it's a good thing for now. And the future. If he develops and signs back with us, like, he's young. He's only in his third year.
Yeah, which is good, but that also means he's a bit inexperienced. And you don't want that to come back in a bad way, in a sense.
I think he got a lot of his inexperience out last year in the postseason when he kept getting benched because he would jump at pump fakes. Thing is
not happening anymore, which is definitely a good thing for him.
Yes. My thing with Evan Fournier is, if you look at him, what he does best is exactly what any team would want coming off of their bench.
Yeah. You want that six man. Yeah. Was he even a starter in the lineup?
Yeah, he was their starting shooting guard.
But that was out of necessity, though. Out of necessity.
He was averaging 19.7 points per game. Like,
yeah, he's not going to do that he's not going to do that.
No. And what's crazy about it is he was doing it on good efficiency too. Like, it's not like he was just jacking up shots and.
No, this is a evolved Evan Fournier. This is not the same Fournier that was there before he went to Orlando. Like, this guy, he's underrated. I do give it to him. He's underrated. He has been in the league for 8 seasons, and I feel like when he was in Denver, he didn't get enough credit for anything, for very much. Then he went to Orlando, and he really developed into hey man, the dude is clutch. He has been clutch for the Magic before. He has been a go-to guy.
So for me, my thing is you're putting that experience as coming off the bench in the sixth man.
Yeah.
Somebody who's shooting. Let's see if I can pull up his shooting percentages. It's
he's shooting right now. He's shooting 79.7 free throws, 38.8 from 3, 46.1 field goal.
So yeah, you're not getting someone who misses an outrageous amount. You turn around.
Yeah, he's going to have even better shots now because, he now have other targets that people are going to be worried about him. It's not just him and Aaron Gordon who doesn't shoot three. So his job got easier, in my opinion.
Well, his job got easier, but I mean, like, in Orlando, they were making him create.
Yeah.
Boston was doing really well with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and the bench units. Now you turn around and you have a guard, a 6'7" guard coming off the bench to play with one of those two.
eBay is out there just selling, man.
Hell yeah. So, like, you have him coming off the bench now. And, I mean, he's not going to do anything that Gordon Hayward did like Gordon Hayward, but he gives you that legitimate threat coming off the bench.
He does.
Which that, to me, is more than anything you can ask for right now for the Celtics, especially for what was given up.
They didn't really give up very much. I'm okay with it. But I wonder, this is okay. So I have to ask this question. There's a little on the side of it, not necessarily more talking about the trade deadline, but we are at a point in which it's just me or the ESPN still keeps getting it wrong because this shows that the Celtics are still under 500. Is that still happening? I mean, is it just me or?
Oh, yeah, no, we're still under 500.
21-23.
So
Evan Fournier. Is Evan Fournier the guy that's going to put the Celtics to like? I think the Celtics are going to make the playoffs. And if they don't, what happens? And I know that we're talking about what ifs, but I want to know because it's a real possibility. The Chicago Bulls just got Nikola Vucevic, who we got to talk about that. That to me, the Bulls won the trade deadline. If you ask me, the Bulls won. But yeah,
so
we'll talk about that.
Going back to the winners before I get into this whole thing. The winners of the deadline to me would be Miami number one because of how little they gave up of their core.
Yeah.
And how much they added.
They got better. Yeah, I give it to them. I want to see how it matches out, but I'm sure that Spoelstra's going to make it work out.
I was going to say you can't think Spoelstra's not going to make that work. Spoelstra's like a Tibbs 2.0.
Yeah, Tibbs is better though. I mean, he has the Knicks making like a 20-point comeback to beat the Wizards, but it is the Wizards.
I mean, he has the Knicks in the 5th seed.
Yeah, that's true. My question, really quick, that's one of your winners, right? To me, I feel like the Heat did the right thing. They couldn't get Kyle Lowry because they were asking for Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero.
And Tyler Hero.
Yeah. So that's like, no, they're going to shut that shit down. So they got the next best thing, which is Victor Oladipo. Now, when it comes down to it, we have seen Victor Oladipo play with other stars, like when he did with Russell Westbrook, right? But at the same time, now is Jimmy Butler. It's a whole different dynamic. Now, remember when Oladipo was playing with Westbrook, it wasn't the Oladipo that played with the Pacers. It wasn't the Oladipo that made comeback of the year. So is he going to take this? Is that going to be the same effect on him, playing with stars like Jimmy Butler? Or is Spoelstra going to learn how to balance it out while still keeping his shooters alive?
So let me
by the way.
I'm going to ask this question.
Yes.
As a response to your question.
Yeah.
Who has a better mentality towards the game of basketball?
Oh, Jimmy
Butler?
Yeah.
Or Russell Westbrook?
Jimmy.
Because Jimmy has shown he doesn't care if the spotlight is on him as long as the other people around him are fighting for the wins.
Yeah.
Because we can't write off the fact that Jimmy Butler is a dog.
Yeah.
He's that I'm going to chew you up and spit you back out.
Yeah.
He's that guy who freaking takes a latte machine to the bubble and sells freaking lattes to his teammates for $100 a freaking latte.
Yep. Plus tax.
So, yeah. So let's just take a step back. Like Victor Oladipo, as long as he can respect Jimmy Butler's intensity and come to the game with intensity, it will work out. That's all he has to do. He doesn't have to shoot. He doesn't have to do anything. He just has to play with an intensity.
Which can he bring that level of intensity that Jimmy Butler requires to play? And I'm not knocking Victor Oladipo, but I am knocking the simple fact. I have questions and I want to know how what's the best way without saying this to like Victor Oladipo like this in the image? Like Victor Oladipo, you may not be the first, second, or third, or fourth option. Like first it goes Jimmy, Tyler, Duncan. They got a tie for 3. Even like Bam Adebayo is like a reliable source for the Heat. And then you have Oladipo. And who knows, maybe Angel Iguodala might even show up to the game and he wants to want a shot, which I'm okay with it. But Oladipo is
to ask another question.
Yeah.
So let's just take a step back and be like, is Victor really going to care? Like realistically, like he just got traded from the Rockets to a winning team. Is he going to care?
Probably, yeah, man. You know, when you put it that way, like maybe he's probably not gonna care as long as they're winning and they're going to win. And I told people like when the Heat were like down into like a 2-10 record, I was like, dude, it's fine. Those guys are just tired. You just need a massage and like just kick back for it. Not like a Deshaun Watson massage, but like something else. Sorry, Deshaun, my bad. Sorry. I hope everything is good with Deshaun Watson, by the way. But this is NBA trade deadline. My bad.
So I don't think they're going to have any issues with implementing Victor Oladipo into their lineups, at all, due to the fact that they, regardless of what you look at, like how they approach it, even if Miami's a lot like Boston, how you're always saying, like if they make the playoffs, they're a team that you don't want to face.
Yeah. You
don't want to face Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and playoff Tyler Hero. If Andrew's in here, I'm shouting out your boy.
Let him know.
You don't want to face the Miami organization in a playoff series.
I agree.
So we're talking about if he fits. It's not, to me, it's not a matter of if he fits. It's a matter of where are they going to come out of this? Who are they going to be facing? Because let's be honest, are you starting Victor Oladipo?
No. You're not going to mess with your starting lineup. You're going to bring him from the bench. Also, he's still coming back from an injury. He was averaging a ton of points with the Rockets, but you want to make sure that he's fresh for when it counts, which is the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Ideally.
So what I'm hearing from you, and I agree with everything you just said, is you're telling me my 6th and 7th man off the bench is Victor Oladipo 7th and Tyler Hero 6th.
Yeah. I mean,
it's that, you could argue that.
Yeah, it's good on paper.
You could argue that backcourt could start for 10 teams in the league.
Probably more than that. I think the only reason why Tyler Hero is not starting is because Duncan has a slight edge on his shooting. I do believe that Duncan is just a tiny little bit of a better shooter than what's his name? Than Tyler Hero. Just a slight bit for it.
Hey, give me 1 second. I need to go check on something really quick.
Okay, sounds good. I'll remove you and I'll show people the screen for it. All right, so some of the other trades, while we wait for Michael, we'll go over some of the other trades. And for the people that are watching for it, thank you guys for watching for it. But these are other trades that happened today. This is straight from NBA.com. The Spurs added Marquise Chris into the deal with the Warriors, but he's out for the season. The Rockets traded Victor Oladipo to the Heat, which is kind of what we're talking about right now, to see kind of how he's going to fit in. I think I want to see it, and I don't want to sound like I'm losing my hope on Victor Oladipo. But my thing about it is I just feel that if anybody can make it work, it's going to be Spoelstra. But it's a lot. I don't know. I have my doubts. Something in the back of my head is telling me that this may not go well for it. And maybe it's the intensity of it. Maybe it's just a simple fact that Oladipo is going to a whole different environment. And how he's going to fit in there. If you're going to make him a spot-up shooter, if you're going to make him create, I don't know how he's going to respond to it. Oh, hi. Hi, Mia. Hi, Mia. How are you?
Great. Somebody kept knocking on my door and then leaving. I had to check the front door 4 times.
Oh,
they just keep knocking on the door and leaving. Yeah. So he's out there right now with my dog. I figured I'd come say hi.
Yeah. Come say hi. Come talk some sports. Wait. Let me see. Do you watch Grey's Anatomy? Do you watch
Walking Dead right now. I started it over.
I don't watch that. What else do you watch? Because I'm guessing you don't watch sports.
No.
No sports.
Maybe with Michael, but I don't really know too much.
Yeah, just pretty much did it for life of fun, right? Let me see. What can we? You got Disney Plus?
I did, but Michael's back. I'll let him take over.
Ask her what her favorite card is.
My favorite card?
Oh yeah, we can talk about cards because you like cards. Well, did he tell you that I got 2 of the Jason Tatum franchise players?
That's cool.
Give it to him. I'll show you guys. Boom. I have 2 of them.
Yeah, that's a sick card.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get a rookie.
One of the rookie cards. You're just trying to make some money, Mia. I can see it. You're just trying to make some money. Oh yeah, the prestige one. Yeah. Send it to get it graded. I love getting things graded. We were planning on it. I think. Oh, this is this card. This is a baseball card that I got from PSA. Like, I'm sure he talks to you about cards on a daily basis for it. But I'm going to tell you this. Get everything graded. That's what matters. Also, did you know that The Walking Dead also has sports cards?
Do they really? That's cool.
Yeah. I think they do. I think
Mario now.
Cards. Yeah.
Probably.
So
I saw,
you can become like the huge collector.
Walking Dead. All right, I already have all their comic books, so I guess you can say I'm a bigger fan. That's cool.
See? That could be your Jason Tatum card right there one day.
It will be. But I'll let Michael take over. It was nice talking with you.
All right. Anytime. Thank you. Hopefully whoever's at your door is like gone now.
Hopefully it was just one of my stupid brothers or something.
Oh. If you want to, man, we have some camouflage like netting. We can just run up there and do army things because this is what we do. No, we don't. We don't do that.
All right, I'm back.
Hey, welcome back, buddy. I was telling the people, I was going over the trade deadline stuff with the people. The one thing about a late night stream on a Thursday night is that people might be asleep. It's okay, though. But because we're having fun, and I'm going to clip the shit out of this whole concept for it. Where do we leave off? The Boston Celtics are going to follow the playoffs. The Miami Heat may or may not. They just got to work it out for Victor Oladipo. I mean, we can go around a Victor Oladipo topic. Around and around.
Dude, we can sit here and talk about this, how Victor Oladipo could help the Heat for hours.
Yeah. I mean, last year they ran out of gas, and now you add another scorer that's going to relieve the pressure from you guys. Plus, Victor Oladipo is a walking bucket, yeah. So,
and people also forget that he did lead the league in steals one year.
Yeah, like he's still a two-way. He's a two-way player. He'll drop 20 on you and also defend. Now, how long he can keep that up for due to his injuries, I'm not really sure. I do know that he was putting in work with the Rockets, and I do, but he always puts work in wherever he goes. Now he's a journeyman, but yeah. Yeah.
Which, I mean, is unfortunate that that's what his career became, but I mean.
Yeah, but still, like, it's still a great story. It's still one of my favorite players. Plus, his rap career is dope.
Let's go into the Bulls because you want to talk about a team that won the deadline.
Oh yeah, the Bulls definitely won the deadline, like without a doubt. Also, yeah, you keep going, man. I'm gonna find out where the Bulls are at in comparison to the.
They are sitting in 10th seed, a game and a half behind Boston, and 3 games behind the 4th seed.
So he's either going to be Boston falling out of the playoff spot, or is it going to be the Hornets falling out of the playoff spot without LaMelo Ball? The Bulls are going to get into the playoffs.
If they don't, I will be very, very, very surprised. But the fact that you keep writing off Boston is amazing.
I'm not writing them off. I told you, man. I'm not writing them off. I told you, man. So check it out. I told you earlier. This is what's going to happen. The Celtics are going to fall out of the playoffs, right? Right. They're going to trade Kemba because obviously, I'm sorry, Kemba. They're going to bring in somebody else for it. They're going to have some draft picks. They're going to get rid of like at least 3 other guards that are under 6 foot tall, or start them. I don't know. Take your pick. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are going to come back next year. They're going to be a little bit humbled out for the simple fact that they missed the playoffs. And Brad Stevens is going to get fired. I'm not saying I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just letting you know that just in case that happens, I want you to be prepared.
I can tell you that's not happening.
I mean, why not?
Dude,
like,
Boston, even when Doc Rivers was sucking, kept Doc Rivers. And Stevens is a better coach than Doc Rivers.
I mean, I wouldn't say that to Doc Rivers, but I would definitely say it to some people.
I would.
I mean, Doc Rivers does have the Philadelphia 76ers being like real pretenders right now. They're out there like they almost look like a basketball team. Also a good team. Also a team that got better with the deadline. Who did they bring in? They brought in what's his name?
George Hill.
Yeah, George Hill. The guy who nobody talks about, but they still talk about J.R. Smith, but whatever.
Let's not even get into that one.
Which
that blows my mind.
Poor Henny JR.
So back to the Bulls. They gave up. Let me finish doing this really quick, and I will tell you.
Wendell Carter.
So they gave up Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter, 2 future firsts, and that was for Al-Farouq Aminu and Nikolai Vucevic.
Yes, a 3-and-D lockdown guy and a 20-and-10 in the center that Carter was now working out.
And then they gave up Daniel Gafford, Chandler Hutchinson, and Mo Wagner.
Yeah, really.
And they replaced those players. They replaced those players with Vucevic, Aminu, Daniel Tice, Javonte Green, and Troy Brown Jr.
Yes.
So they have brought in. They traded what? 1 starter?
Yeah, not kind of. I guess when he was healthy, he was a starter. Yeah, and Carter Jr. Or you're talking about Otto Porter.
Okay. So we'll give them a 1.5 starters because they started both Otto Porter and Wendell Carter.
Yeah, it was like an on and off concept. Like they didn't have like a. They were both streaky in a sense, if you ask me. Yeah.
And then they brought in 2 starters in Vucevic and Tice.
Mm-hmm.
A highlight show in Javonte Green.
I mean, I love how high you are on all the Celtics players. I wish I played for the Celtics.
I'm not even high on him. It's just he's a high flying dunker. That's what he is. Yeah, he's an energy guy.
Yeah, not a dunker, just like Zach LaVine is a dunker, which people.
No, Javonte Green is a dunker.
Oh, he's just a dunker, not a Zach LaVine dunker.
No, he's not like Zach LaVine, but
Zach LaVine. Is it LaVine? I don't know why. It's spelled LaVine, so whatever. Levine.
So he gives you some good highlights.
Yes.
And then Troy Brown Jr., who's a good defensive player. I don't know how much of an offense he's going to bring you. I do want to say this out for Brown Jr. He's a beast. Like he'll play both sides of the ball. Like with the Washington Wizards, it's really hard to stand out because you start the game being down by 20. And then you have to climb up to a triple-double to lose by 30. He was – the only thing I know about Troy Brown Jr. is he was one of the few players on Washington that actually knew how to play defense.
Yeah, which is what you want, especially when you have Kobe White and Zach Levine not allowed to play defense because they just score.
So, and I mean, let's take a second also, think about how Vucevic is going to open up the floor so much.
Oh, yeah.
For Kobe White and Zach LaVine.
And Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah, they didn't even have to give up Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah, which is weird because he's probably one of the best players underrated, which he should get a lot more credit than he does, but he doesn't. But moving on from that one. But yeah.
So I think it's safe to say that they were the overall winners of the market.
Yes. Now, maybe it's going to be the Atlanta Hawks falling out.
If we want to talk about questionable moves that don't make sense. What the hell were the Warriors trying to do
I don't know,
at the
man.
trade deadline? They traded Marquise Chris, who actually had been playing well for them.
But he doesn't mean any type of. He's not. You have James Wiseman, and you have way better bench centers. He doesn't. Marquise Chris, like his potential, his ceiling should be a lot higher than where he plays. And I don't think he's kind of like Andrew Wiggins, which I'm surprised he's still with the Warriors, but whatever.
So my thing is you're trading someone who gave you good production, that you showcased as good production.
Yeah, I mean,
for draft rights to a player that's not Caddy Lilane. Like, have you even heard of that guy?
Bro, we're about to YouTube, buddy. We're not going to Google Fournier because,
dude, all I got to say is Fournier and Smart are going to complement each other so much. Because Smart's that, like, we're going to win these games. We're going to do this. And Fournier's this, like, look, dude, like, I can get a bucket if I want a bucket, so I'm just going to have fun with this.
Is this the guy? Too much he's playing in South Korea.
He's overseas.
Basketball. He's overseas. 3 years ago, I guess he was in the G League.
Okay, so he's never going to make it to the league.
So, yeah, man, I mean, not saying that he's never going to make it, but, like, maybe
he's not going to make it.
Dude, one of my videos got more views than one of his videos working out.
Anyway, their other move that they
69 views. I just gave that dude like more views into it, but we gotta find out who this kid is, man.
Okay, somebody that you liked that played for Boston got traded from Golden State. Brad Wanamaker.
Yeah,
but realistically, like, he got traded to be waived because they gave the Hornets cash considerations, and it was basically turned into a pick swap.
I mean, sometimes things don't make any sense. I don't know, like, what to say about that for the simple reason, like, this is the guy they traded for. I mean, he can dunk. So this is Cody Caddy. So cool. Yeah, dude, there was definitely an elbow there. We everybody saw that, but you're also like 5 foot flat. Okay, cool. So what do we got? A discount James Wiseman over here? That's what you guys traded for? Oh, wait, he can shoot. Yeah, I'm not convinced. I didn't even know the Warriors did that, and I'm not really happy that I found out either. So if we have any Warriors fans out there, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, like, unless they know someone's going to get bought out and they wanted the roster spots.
Maybe it was a financial move. Maybe it was like, yeah, we don't want to bring back anybody that's good. It's going to help us win. So let's get this guy's draft rights. So he's in the roster, but not really in the roster.
I mean, maybe, but even then, like, there's better ways to go about it.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at what the Thunder's done. And I'm not going to use that to roll over into the draft picks talk because there's still 45? A couple teams we need to talk. We still need to talk to about with trades.
Yes, the Bulls. So let's get back on topic. The Bulls definitely won the trade deadline. Yes. Are the Bulls going to be? Are they a playoff team now? Like, are they? I'll put the standings back into it. Couple games behind the Pacers, the Celtics. Now, the Hornets. Don't get me wrong. The Hornets are going to fall out of the playoffs. I don't think they can be able to keep that up without LaMelo Ball. Stop developing bad chemistry. All right, cool.
Let's see.
Stop developing bad chemistry. I wonder.
I think, because here's my question for you.
Yeah.
So the Bulls move up, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this hypothetical, and you're saying the Hornets fall out, which is definitely a possibility.
I don't think they have the firepower without LaMelo Ball. Like, the dude was defending people, he was creating balls, and he was hype. So
where do you have Who do you have? Let me rephrase it this way. Which teams do you have falling 7 and 8 in the East?
Well, if you ask me, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, but the Knicks are gonna fall into the 7-8, to the 6-7-8. The Atlanta Hawks, I don't think they have enough firepower to keep going whatever run they have. As soon as Trae Young goes on a bad shooting streak, it's over. And they also just gave up Rajon Rondo. But I don't think the Hawks they're not consistent enough. And it's just like Trae Young shot. If Trae Young was a bit of a better shooter, as consistent against Steph Curry, then yes, like the Hawks would be in a whole different place. Plus, he doesn't really create for anybody else. So, in my opinion, the Brooklyn Nets are going to take the number 1 spot. The 76ers are going to come back down to earth. They're going to drop down to the 3rd spot. Milwaukee will still be number 2. The Miami Heat will break into the top 4, and that will happen. Like, the Miami Heat are going to break into the top 4. Even on a 5-game losing streak, I'm not really worried about that. The Knicks are going to fall down, more realistic to like a bottom 4, 6, 7, 8. I'm happy the Knicks are going to make it to the playoffs. Even like a 5th spot for the Knicks, as long as they keep winning the 50-50 games. Like tonight, they were down by 20-something versus the Wizards. They came back. They got the win. And they got the win versus a team that they should be beating. The Wizards are not a playoff teams, not in playoff contention. They're in tanking contention. So that's the teams that you should be beating for the Knicks. But at the same time, the Knicks don't really have enough firepower to really fight with the top 4. And you can get me hype on Julius Randle, but we both know that we are talking about Julius Randle. And we are talking about year 1 of Thibodeau, which playoffs is definitely a win for them. And yeah.
My whole counter here, okay. You already know I hate rooting for the Knicks for multiple reasons. Yeah. Mainly you and Curtis.
You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. But did you see them come back?
Well, I'm not even gonna bash on them right now. I'm about to compliment them.
So I'll take them, buddy.
I think Thibs is a better playoff coach than he is a regular season coach, and he's a really good regular season coach.
Yes, as long as he plays with his players, yeah.
So here's my question: if somehow, some way, so you said you have Philly dropping to 3.
Yes. Let's be realistic about it.
Okay, I'm just going to use your hypothetical. We can go all day on how we both feel about Philly because we both
I feel like they
don't like Philly.
Yeah,
I think Doc Rivers is a pretend coach.
I don't think he's a pretend coach. I feel like he's a really good regular season coach. He's
a pretend coach.
he used to coach your Celtics. This Doc Rivers we're talking about. He played in the NBA.
Okay. Doc Rivers.
No, let's not.
Doc Rivers has had how many Hall of Fame players on his team?
A ton. I don't know. Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Shaquille O'Neal. The Shaq even counts because it was towards the end of his career.
No, we're not going to count Shaq.
Rajon Rondo is going to be a Hall of Fame. First ballot, more than likely. He has to be in the Hall of Fame. By the way, I hope you saw the comment from Matthew. I'm going to put it up there. So Philly will choke. Yeah. There you go. Don't buy Philly cards, but sell them if you got them. Yeah.
So my thing here is you have Philly dropping to 3.
Yes.
I'm going to give New York the benefit of the doubt here because just like Joel Embiid says, trust the process. I'm going to trust the Thibs.
Yeah, man. The process was great. Like a couple years ago, it was a really good punt, and they expanded that out. Like their marketing team took this trust the process, and they got every little ounce of apple juice could get out of it. They got an orange, and they brought back with orange lemonade. The process is over. The process finished a long time ago, and then the process was gone when Jimmy left. The process has been processed. Yeah. The update has been done.
Yeah, it's like my computer. They're like my computer. They're still running on Windows 7.
Yeah, but it'll tell you that has that Windows 10 update though. They'll be like, now you have Windows 10 update, but it's really Windows 7.
All right, back on track here for this. I'm gonna give the trust in Thibs and give the Knicks the 6th seed.
Yeah, I'll take it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's great.
I will take the Knicks over the 76ers any day of the week.
I feel like it's a compliment to the Knicks. I feel like it would really depend on how the Knicks can do defense, how they play their defense, not just like one game, but how do they match up? Actually, no, I'll take the Knicks. I mean, Ben Simmons is not going to shoot, and at the end of the day, Joel Embiid's going to cry in the playoffs. So I'll take the Knicks.
Well,
they got better, but yeah.
You also have Mitchell Robinson matching up against Joel Embiid, and Mitchell Robinson plays him
back?
well.
Yes. Is he back? Oh, nice.
He is.
Which I had high hopes for topping while he was gone.
I mean, so anyway, back to this argument so we don't stop getting sidetracked and make your video 4 hours long instead of an hour.
After you leave, Matthew's going to come in, and we got Luis coming in to give us his take on everything that just happened. Maybe. I don't know.
You might have a 4-hour video.
Yeah, dude, we should stop calling In the Box and just say In the Tangent, because we just disperse. That's what we're doing it right now.
Anyway,
Philly, top 3 pretenders. You'll take the Knicks over Philly. I mean, it makes sense. Yes. I like it.
And I think the Knicks would be able to also push the Bucks to 6 or 7 games. And I think Milwaukee, if you push them early, they will fizzle out and die.
Yes.
In the playoffs.
Yes.
And then, are we ever going to see Kyrie, KD, Blake Griffin, and everyone else that used to be an all-star that everybody started to hate on?
Yeah, man. Just
play a game together?
Turn like 2K on. I'm bet you there's all starters on it. I mean, is anybody else
with them?
Am I the only person that think that was a dumb move for them to sign Blake Griffin? I don't see the point of it. I don't see how they got better. I see how they got flashier and shiny. That's about it. They get the shiniest diamond in the NBA. That's what they got. Nothing else.
If Kevin Durant is not healthy, Brooklyn will not go anywhere. And it's the sad truth.
Yes.
So I don't see the top 3. They all have a path that they could make the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Could. But I don't see any of them being heavy favorites to come out of the East.
No, I didn't see was it last year? The Bucks supposedly had it all gone. I was like, no, man, the Bucks, they're a suspect team. They have a whole bunch of liabilities. And you can't really work it out having you can do it. You can have 4 shooters in Giannis, but you need more than that. You need more than the Twin Towers for the Lopez brothers. And Chris Middleton cannot be your second guy. Let's be honest here. Chris Middleton should not be the second guy. And they knew they fucked up. They knew it. But now they got to own it up. So they pay Giannis in an apology. Hey, I'm sorry, man. We're not going to win you a championship with Chris Middleton, but here's a ton of money for you to spend. And you could probably buy the country that you came from now, which is congratulations, man. Giannis does a lot of great things. He's a great guy. He got paid at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Wait, are we both agreeing that the Hornets are the Hornets are dropping out of the playoffs, right?
I think they will fall into the play-in tournament, and I think it'll depend on matchups on if they make the playoffs or not in the play-in tournament.
How many games they got left? 72 game season.
And they have played 43.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of time.
29 games.
Yeah. The Lakers are gonna fall out. Sorry, Lakers fans. I'm really sorry. The Lakers are gonna fall out. Unless LeBron James can come back. They say 2 to 3 weeks, but if he comes back with I don't think that I think the way that the LeBron thinks about it and the way the Lakers are, they'd rather just take a year off instead of hurting their own players. Think of the long term. You're not going to win with Marc Gasol. It was great. I thought it was a great move, but it did not work out.
So for me, I think let's also talk about this hurting the trade deadline before we get too far into complete side tangents like we already have.
Yeah.
The other thing that has hurt the trade deadline is the play-in tournament. Because like right now, you have Sacramento, who is at, what are they, 2 games out of the play-in tournament?
Mm-hmm.
They kept Harrison Barnes. They made one trade. Bielitsia. Like, they didn't give up anything. I mean, you can say they didn't get better, but typically in that situation,
they got better in the sense that now they're going to trust their players. Now they're going to trust De'Aaron Fox more, or not trust more, but put more into it. Yeah, the Fox is one of the guys definitely to root for. Yeah, Matthew's completely entirely right. Completely agree with you there. Hi, baby.
Fox all
this?
day, every
Did
day.
you make this for me? Yeah. Thank you, baby.
It was bites.
Aw.
A little lovely bites from your dad there.
Thank you, baby. You want me to eat it?
Yeah.
Okay. Un topping is jelly. I just got like a pita bread with jelly.
Yum.
I'm afraid to eat it, but man, the things that you do for your kids, right? It's just jelly and pita bread. Love it. All right, cool.
I think Fox, depending on the help around him, could turn the Kings organization around.
Tyrese Halliburton, that's your answer.
Oh, you already know how I feel about Halliburton. I'm stockpiling. I am stockpiling. Let me go find it because it's literally sitting right next to me.
Matthew, if you're still watching it, Tyrese Halliburton, that's the kid right there. He's going to be the one that's going to put the Kings on the map. Unfortunately, it wasn't De'Aaron Fox. Him and De'Aaron Fox are what Sexton and Garland could never be.
I am stockpiling Tyrese Halliburton rated rookies right now because they're going on the down low.
Really quick, you want to talk about your whole thing with the Cavaliers? Like, why? Like, I get it.
So this is my philosophy.
Buy low, sell high. If any of them make it, but
it's not if any of them make it. What happens the second Sexton or Garland leaves Cleveland?
Okoro becomes the face of the organization.
Here, hang on. Let me rephrase this. What happens when you have Garland, Okoro, or Sexton?
Would you keep Sexton or Garland?
If it was up to me, with how their team is structured, I would keep Sexton. Okay. With how their team is structured. Garland, to me, is a better pure point guard.
We got one from your Breaking Syndicate graded. There you go.
There you go. So, to me, Sexton is a better pure scorer.
Yes.
But Garland is the better point guard. In the aspect of he's better at setting his teammates up than Sexton is.
Defensively, I'll take Sexton. Like, that is...
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that is why it weighs it out for me. I want a guy that's going to go out there and fight. Sexton could be the next Jimmy Butler. All he needs to do is probably just be a little bit more assertive in the sense of, like, taking over a game. Being like, yo, this is... Yeah. I like Sexton better than Garland.
So back to this whole point.
Oh, yeah.
You have...
Yeah. Wait.
You have
back to the
Sexton?
trade deadline or Cavaliers swing?
No. The Cavaliers stuff, because you wanted the answer.
Yeah.
You have Sexton, Garland, and Okoro. Mm-hmm. You already know how high I am on Okoro because of everything I heard about him coming out of college. Like, that boy is a dog. And then you have Colin Sexton, who is also a dog mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Garland, who is a pass-first guard.
Yes.
To me, if you put any of those players, any of those three, on a halfway decent team, people are going to realize how good that player is.
I agree. So, okay, I see. Okay, so let's go back to the trade deadline. We're back again. I don't even know where we're left at.
We were just talking shit on the Warriors trading people for nothing.
Elaine, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna
skip off of that.
Read it. Yeah, we're gonna skip off of that. All right. So, quick summary: Bulls and the Heat want it. I want to see more from the Heat. The Celtics 50-50. They got better. They got a plan B for it. The 76ers are still pretenders. Oh, is nobody going to talk about the Clippers? By the way, am I the only person to realize that they brought in Rajon Rondo to the Clippers, and it was like sad. Does anybody think that the Clippers are like done? Or am I the only person that's over here like the Clippers suck and we need to like wake up and acknowledge it that Kawhi Leonard was great for 1 year with Toronto, a team that was already set up. Like that Toronto team, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about the simple fact that Toronto was set up for a championship team. That was not a scrubs team. That team had been going to the finals year after year after year. And of course, I mean, they got owned by LeBron James, which sucks for them. But at the same time,
they couldn't ever, no matter where Toronto fell on the conference standings, they either had to get past Boston and they couldn't get past Boston.
Yeah.
Or they had to get past LeBron, and there was no way in hell they were stopping LeBron.
And the 1 year the Kawhi Leonard is there, right? LeBron is not there anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because he went to the Lakers, which means there was an open spot for the East in a for the team that was already set up. He didn't go in there. You didn't have to change chemistry. You didn't have to change players. You didn't have to change roles. Everybody played the same role. Because at the end of the day, DeMar DeRozan was the one that's closing out games, just like Kawhi Leonard was closing out games, right? Kyle Lowry was doing the same thing he's been doing his whole career, which is like do steroids and then drop 30 and be funny about it, but then not score for 27 days.
And then go back to realizing that he's an under 6 foot guard that can barely play.
Yeah, but he's a great guy. I love Kyle Lowry.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Kyle Lowry is amazing.
Yeah, Kyle, we love you, man. We're not gonna like hate on you like we did on Stephen A. Smith, but Kyle,
we'll just bash you a little bit.
What the fuck? Yeah, just a little bit. But I'm sure he will have fun with it, and he'll be like, "Yeah, man, I dropped 30, but then I didn't score for 30 days, but I still dropped 30 days ago." So,
but then I took a charge and then argued with a ref about the next blocking foul.
Right. Also, he takes charges. Like, who takes charges anymore? Like, everybody just flops.
I think it's actually starting to come back. Like, I think taking charges is starting to make a comeback because you have all of these players who are just like, oh, I'm gonna bulldog in and I'm gonna drop my shoulder and flop.
Yeah. And
then you have these high IQ veterans who just like, oh yeah, you're gonna try that. Watch this. I'm like half your size. Watch this. I'm gonna bounce backwards because you're 150 pounds heavier than me.
Speaking of dropping, really quick. Okay, let's get back on topic so that we can go back out of it in like 30 seconds when I find this clip of Rudy Gobert. What's up with centers flopping in the NBA? Like, bro, you're 7 foot tall. Like, nobody's gonna miss it. Like when you flop, we know that you flop.
I am waiting for a Shaq-style center to come out of high school again.
That's never gonna happen. It's not a concept for it. It doesn't really matter.
I think eventually somebody will watch the trend and they're gonna be like, "Oh, hey, that worked. I'm gonna try it." And they're gonna dominate college. They're gonna freaking go to the pros and they're gonna have 6'10" people trying to guard them, and they're just gonna own them.
I don't think it's going to happen because at the end of the day, that type of center, that type of like a pure center, it's just the same thing of a pure point guard, of a pure shooting guard. Like you cannot be, he has to be able to come out and shoot the three. If not, he's not going to play. And on top of that, even if you bullies him down,
does he?
Like, huh?
But he does. Rudy Gobert.
Well, then that's one of the flaws with the Jazz. It's like, first of all, he's not going to come out and shoot the three. Second of all, as soon as you make him switch on defense, or if you put Nikola Jokic on him, he's done for it. Like when he has to guard a versatile center, imagine that. No, it's not. I mean, the game has
side of that argument.
That it's like.
So here's the counter to that argument. So yeah, like he's gonna have trouble guarding those versatile centers. But are you telling me that a Jokic would be able to handle a Shaq-style player in the post? Like he's gonna get thrown around like a rag doll.
Yeah, I mean Shaq threw out like Samuel Dalibert, and that was no small man. Like some of the centers that were back there, like Derek Coleman in the Shaq era. Sean Kemp was there for a couple of years.
Hakeem was there.
Yeah, Hakeem was there for a couple of years.
Like, anyway, side tangent again.
Yes.
Back to
I
Gobert.
can't find a click for it.
All right. So, do you want to touch draft picks before too long, or what do you want to go to next?
Which deadline? Who lost? We talked about the winners, but we talked about the winners. We haven't mentioned anything about a team that lost any trade deadline. Like which team, aside from the Warriors trading for whatever, I don't know what's happened there. Who lost?
Let's.
Oh, by the way, Luka Maverick. Yeah, exactly. Luka Maverick now has shooters.
Yes.
And I gotta stop joking because like when I talk about him, I'm always like, yeah, Luka Maverick, because that is his fucking team.
Yeah, he definitely got shooters.
Orlando, RJ Hampton. Watch out for RJ Hampton. He is going to bust out in Orlando.
All right, so here's my question for you.
You heard it here
first. You brought that up.
Yes.
Because I'm high on Hampton. I actually have a lot of his cards too. So
yeah, I'm not gonna sell his for $1.
So how does RJ Hampton and Cole Anthony fit together?
The same way that RJ Hampton and LaMelo Ball were fitting when they were overseas.
They didn't play together overseas.
Was it? I'm pretty sure it was LaMelo Ball and RJ Hampton that played together. I'm like 98%.
No, RJ Hampton played in the. They played on different teams.
Who did LaMelo Ball play with? I thought he. Okay, never mind. So there goes my argument of lack of knowledge right there. So I'm still high on RJ Hampton. I guess I was wrong about the whole thing about with the. I was wrong about him playing with LaMelo Ball. My bad, guys. My bad. You guys can like hunt me down later for it. But RJ Hampton didn't have any space to do anything with the Denver Nuggets because what is he, like a shooting guard, small forward, going into a team full of
He's actually
shooting
supposed to be. He's meant to be a point guard. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah. Tell me what point guard actually. Have you seen this? Give me a second over here. Like, I will share it because I'm high on RJ Hampton. I mean,
dude, you don't have to talk to me about RJ Hampton. So,
yeah,
as you know me fairly well. I deep dive into drafts before, like months before drafts even are even thought about. Like I'm already looking at next year's draft, which is stupid. So I've been following RJ Hampton since he opted out of going to college, and I followed his career overseas because. Him and LaMelo were the first ones who said, no, I'm not going to college. I'm going to go get paid for what I'm doing.
Actually, we'll give that to a couple of point guards out there. Emmanuel Mudiay say he's going to go to China and get paid.
Let me rephrase that. One of the first.
He was not one of the first. There's been like a couple guys who've done it before. But this is irrelevant. Don't even worry about it. Plus, Emmanuel Mudiay is a bum, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we're talking about good players here.
You're not wrong.
Come on.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Anyway,
not wrong at all.
So Hampton, when he was in college, like a lot of people forget he was a 5-star recruit in high school.
Yeah.
That's not easy to accomplish, being a 5-star recruit in high school. And
obviously I was like a half a star in high school, so give me some credit, bro. I was the fastest guy on the court. So plus I could make a layup sometimes.
That's only if you didn't eat burritos beforehand or tacos.
Bro, I didn't even want to play in the first place. Like my senior year, I was like, Coach, I don't really want to play basketball. I want to like go do other things. I had a girlfriend, so
anyway, RJ Hampton for me,
thanks for cutting that one out before I got in trouble. Yeah.
RJ Hampton for me, when he went overseas, the team he chose to go to, I think, was the worst possible team because it was a team that had like nothing, no spacing, like, and then the coach didn't trust him because he was some 18-year-old kid coming from America. They're like, no. So like he was getting sporadic minutes, which killed his draft stock.
Yeah.
So I think with going to Orlando, he's going to get that playing time because I mean, what else are they going to do? Like,
I mean,
not play him.
Orlando's like the Jazz of the East, right? You go there, you bring up your game, you develop your game, or you go in there to get paid like Bismarck Biyombo did. But you go in there, you develop your game. There has been some great players that have come out of Orlando. You know, Dwight Howard was great, developed there. I mean, he fucked it up afterwards, but that's not the point of it. JJ Redick started with the Orlando Magic, has become one of the best shooters in the world, right? Now playing next to the Luka Maverick. You know, Orlando, you go there for like rehab. You know, there's a whole bunch of old people. Nobody's going to mess with you in Orlando. Right?
Yeah.
JJ Nelson? Yeah, JJ Nelson was a household name.
Thinking of Jameer Nelson?
Jameer Nelson.
Yeah.
Jameer Nelson was a household name in Orlando. Tell me one other team that you have ever heard of Jameer Nelson playing for.
I'm pretty sure he played for the Nuggets.
Right? But before that, like he was a legit player for Orlando. So
yeah,
I mean, anybody
he also
go to Orlando.
He had Dwight though. It
doesn't matter. He was still a household name.
But if you want to talk about somebody being a household name and then like going and somewhere else, like let's bring up Hito Turkoglu.
He also played for Orlando.
So
he started out with Sacramento, Orlando, Philadelphia. He was in Philly for a year. How many teams did Hito play for?
I don't even know. Too many.
I mean, the dude was great. Let me look at his career. I mean, okay, but yeah, exactly. He also played for the Raptors, for the Clippers. Damn, he gained some weight towards the end of his career. You don't see that every day for a shooter. All right. The point is, RJ Hampton, Cole Anthony, you need guards, right? And let's be honest here. Terrence Ross is only a matter of time before he goes into a contending team to go play the sixth man, the Celtics. And wasn't that your boy that you wanted a couple weeks ago?
Hey, I wanted him in a package with Aaron Gordon.
And actually, Aaron Gordon going to the Denver Nuggets, which
yes.
Are we not including that as a win, or is that just like, man, they try?
I'm going to include that as oh shit, LeBron and the Lakers aren't going to be here, so let's do everything we can to get into an arms race and see if we can contend with Utah, which we already talked about Utah.
Can you imagine, like, okay, so there's no Lakers. I guess we can just remove the banner for the NBA trade deadline because right about now we're like way off topic again. So
I was going to say, what are we talking about
now? So no Lakers, right? The Clippers are suspect. Let's be honest over here. Like I'll take the Nuggets over the Clippers. Honestly, I'll take the Grizzlies over the Clippers right now. Any point in time. The Phoenix Suns are in second place, which is what the fuck is going on there?
Because they have the point guard.
Yeah, Chris Paul. Also a guy who's not trustworthy in the playoffs, but we're not going to talk about that either.
Let's just talk. All I got to say is if you're going to bash Chris Paul, let's talk about how he has the ability to go to any franchise and be like, watch this. We're not going to change anything, but we're still going to make the playoffs.
I was a Chris Paul fan when he was with New Orleans Pelicans, not the Pelicans, with Hornets.
Yeah.
When they had that weird transition before like Pelicans, they were like the Hornets, but they didn't want to be the Bobcats, which they did it better than the Washington football team because they just took on a name. We're like, we're just going to be this random animal, whatever. Chris Paul has this ability as a player coach that he's just like, hey, look, man, I'm going to break this down so fucking simple for you, okay? When I'm running, you just cut out a 45-degree angle and hit the fucking layup. That's it, bruh. That's it. That's really it. Let me tell you how to pick and roll. He breaks it down, and you could tell. People would be like, Devin Booker is great. Like, no, Devin Booker is a bum. Chris Paul is out here coaching little kids and making them look like a real team. Yeah, I love Chris Paul.
I'm not going to call a player who can drop 70 points in a game a bum.
Who did he do it against? When did he do it?
Boston.
Did it matter? Did that game really matter to anybody?
I mean, it mattered to Boston fans.
Yeah.
Well, so okay, you know how you know how I feel about the Lakers,
Yes.
and I respect the hell out of Kobe.
Yes.
Devin Booker came in and broke Kobe's scoring record in the Garden.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Remember, like LeBron did it, Carmelo Anthony did it. Remember, was that the same year that everybody was having a feast versus the Knicks?
Well, I mean, that was no, it was in the Boston Garden. He did it on Boston.
Yeah, but I'm saying, was that the same year that it was like 2-3 years ago? The Knicks were like they would just drop. They would let anybody drop 50. Like they let LeBron go and drop 50. Somebody else went and drop 50 for like 3 games straight. Don't quote me on it. Just look it back up. Just,
yeah.
I'm feeling special right now. But the point is, you can't tell me. I don't care that he dropped 70. He didn't do it when it mattered. He didn't do it when versus the good team. He didn't do it game 7 of the playoffs. He hasn't been to the playoffs. And then you're like, oh, who was a bubble team? It was a great team for the bubble because they went like 8-0, 9-0.
But okay, I'm not ever going to bring the bubble up for that because they were doing it against teams who didn't care.
Exactly. So you can drop 70 on it. Like the shooters will shoot. Didn't TJ Warren drop like 50 and we're not over here like glamorizing TJ Warren?
I mean, he did get glamorized though.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure my boy Lou Williams has dropped 50 before, and we're not over here buying Lou Williams. Not Lou Williams, Mo Williams. I'm pretty sure Mo Williams has dropped 50 with the Timberwolves. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are you Googling this shit?
I'm Googling something else right now.
So you can't tell me that just because a player dropped 70 points that he's actually good. He didn't make the Phoenix Suns better. The Phoenix Suns did not get better until Chris Paul got there.
Devin Booker was the youngest player to score more than 60 points when he dropped 70.
Oh, what did Tyreek Evans? Didn't Tyreek Evans drop like 60 one time?
I think his was just under that. Let me see whose record he beat.
Tyreek Evans when he was a freshman. Yeah, I'm not saying that he's not good, but I'm just saying that if I had to pick between Devin Booker and Jameer Nelson, I would probably go with Jameer Nelson. Just saying. I just don't think that Booker is the type of player that we put him up to. The dude, he's a shooter. He can shoot. He's flashy. But at what point in time are we going to realize that he did not make the Phoenix Suns better? They're not even using the Android. They didn't even know what the Android 18 was till Chris Paul got there. Okay,
so my argument here isn't that he's great. My argument is that he's not a bum.
Okay, he's a bum that can score 70 points. Is that better?
So, all right, we're just gonna bounce off of this one.
Okay. Just gonna let that one go. I'm not. Yeah. Matthew says I'm going wild. Maybe just a little bit, but it frustrates me because then it leads to the argument of Donovan Mitchell versus Devin Booker, and you're like, Devin Booker is so much better than Donovan Mitchell because he dropped 70. When Donovan Mitchell is leading his team to the playoffs, when he's given the rock to go be like, hey man, we need you to make some shit happen. So. Because we didn't know how we got here.
Okay. So I got a question for you. If you're going to bring that into an argument, are you telling me that you would take the Phoenix Suns front office coaching and management over Utah's coaching management any day of the week?
I would take the Utah Jazz front office. I mean, they're really fucked up, but like, I would take the Jazz front office over the Phoenix Suns any day. I mean, let's not forget the Phoenix Suns had a squad of Dragic, both of the Morris brothers, Isaiah Thomas, that was underway to making the playoffs, right? And what did they do? Just traded everybody just for fun?
Yeah. But I mean, so my point for that question is like you're acting like Devin Booker was in a good situation before Chris Paul. Like Chris Paul made that a good situation because like who in the front office is going to look at Chris Paul and be like, nah, man, you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
But at the same time, Chris Paul is a short-term investment. You're not investing in him for years. You're going to have one winning season, and he's going to bounce out. The same thing that just happened to the Oklahoma City Thunder. You're going to be good while Chris Paul is there, and that's it. Then you go back to your old habits. It's like it's smoking menthols, man. You stop smoking menthols, and then you're back at fucking drill, and you're like, yo, bro, just going to have one. But all I'm saying is the Phoenix Suns, maybe without the Lakers being there, the Clippers being a suspect as they are, maybe this is the year the Phoenix Suns will win a playoff game. I would definitely take the Nuggets, the Blazers, the Mavericks. I'm going to be honest with you. I would take the Pelicans over the Suns any day.
I mean,
I won't take the Rockets or the Timberwolves, but I'll take Anthony Edwards over it. Yeah. You know what? I'll take the Timberwolves or the Phoenix Suns. Boom.
Let's go into – I don't even know where we were going with all of this, to be honest.
Yeah, we lost track. Well, yeah.
I lost it a long time ago.
My bad. What's his name is a bum. Devin Booker is a bum. Let's get back to NBA. Okay. Oh, yeah, we were talking about without the Lakers being the actual threat to the West and the Clippers being a suspect as they are, because Kawhi Leonard is also a bum. He's over here just throwing a bumware out. Who is going to take the West? Could the Jazz have a shot?
I will say, I mean, I'm not going to write them off. They do have a shot. Like, it'd be unfair to say they don't have a shot. But for me, and this is kind of dark horse take that's out there a little bit. If the Lakers can't figure it out and they fall completely out of the playoffs, I see the Mavericks coming out of the West.
Now with JJ Redick getting back on his playoff streak, right?
Because, I mean, if you think about it, what was Luka doing last year in the playoffs? That boy was a dog. He was balling. He wasn't backing down from anybody.
And by the way, Kristaps Porzingis dropped like 30 points like the other night. So.
And they're being smart with how they're bringing KP back.
Mm-hmm.
And then you turn around and you add JJ Redick.
Who will drop a bucket like the first 3 quarters of the game on anybody.
I mean, you have Tim Hardaway Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith. Like, you have all of these quality players, not
pretend shooters.
Great players. They're quality players.
Yeah.
You have Maxi Kleber. Like, you have solid players.
Jalen Brunson is a beast, by the way.
He is.
Jalen Brunson is nothing to be fucked with.
And they remind me of the Dirk Nowitzki Mavericks.
Didn't they have Rick Carlisle as the coach back then too?
Yeah. So
Rick Carlisle he's a vampire.
Like, to me, like, you look at this roster up and down, like they're not like super standoutish outside of Luka. I mean, they have Boban, Willie Cauley-Stein, Maxi Kleber, freaking Tim Hardaway Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith, Josh Green, Dwight Powell, KP,
Willie
Trey Burke. Trey Burke, he's just going to come out one day and be like, oh, yeah, watch this. I'm going to drop 30, and then I'm going to vanish again.
I'm sorry, but that you said it. I was going to say it. I love Trey Burke. Dude has the best one-game performance ever. Yeah.
And then they have Josh Richardson. So, I mean, like,
did he fall off?
Honestly, I haven't. I feel bad for saying this because I like Luka a lot, but I haven't been following the Mavs that much.
I mean,
so give me a second. I'll tell you.
I just don't think that Josh Richardson should have gone to the Philadelphia 76ers, and that may have ruined him. Yeah, he's averaging 13.2 point games, 6'5",
3 rebounds, 2 assists. I mean, this is terrible.
Not the same guy. This is not the same guy that left Miami.
It's not.
Man, see? So, you go to Orlando to get better. You go to Philly to get worse.
Anyway, for me, they're built a lot, like, very similar to that title run Mavericks team of the day. And they're starting to click at the right time. Like, they're not falling off. They're coming together at the right time. Like, They're sitting here with like what 21-ish, 20 something games left.
They're gonna make the playoffs. I mean, they beasted in the bubble, and everybody who thought that wrote them off, I was always like, man, it's just like the Heat. The team was tired, man. They play deep into it. Like, let the team take a nap.
My thing is like, you have like Luka is a generational talent. Like, he is going to be that. He's that face of the franchise player.
Yes,
like, he's stupidly good.
Which
and
everything Luka does do is great.
So for Dallas, you're not gonna stop Luka. You're not. And
do need more than Luka.
But that's the thing. They have enough role players who do just enough. Because everyone on that team is engaged defensively.
Yes.
And offensively, like Luka, he doesn't have to hit every shot because, I mean, that boy's just going to start dishing out assists to everybody. Like
Tim Hardaway drops a 20-pointer.
Like, you're going to have Luka sitting back and just dropping dimes for an entire playoff series that they're going to win.
Yeah.
And people are going to think he's Steve Nash.
I mean, the dude's IQ is crazy. Like, his IQ itself is crazy. And if KP is healthy, I do believe that this team is can be a deadly team offensively and defensively. Did I say Andre Drummond to the Dallas Mavericks?
You did.
Yeah. Andre Drummond.
We talked about it off stream.
He could be the difference maker for them. So that way KP can roll to that 4 where he likes it better, and he'll be able to bully some of the small forwards and some of the power forwards as well.
Yeah. Not to mention, you're moving somebody who averages almost 2 blocks a game to your 4.
Yeah. So talk about the Twin Towers. Are we sleeping on the Blazers, by the way? We're talking about the Suns being able to win it, the Jazz being able to win it, the Mavericks coming, but we didn't see.
They're my dark horse, man.
Huh? The Dallas
They're
Mavericks
my dark horse.
Are we the Blazers? Nothing? No?
So to me, when's Nurk gonna be back? He's their X factor. If he's not there, I don't see them winning. And he just can't be there to be there. He has to be there and be engaged. Like last year in the playoffs, he was good, but you could see that he was gassed to hell. And if he's gassed like that, then they're not going to make it anywhere. They have Dame. I mean, they have Melo. They have McCollum. I mean, they have a good team.
CJ McCollum. Arfini Simmons. Simons. Is it Simmons or Simons?
Simons.
That kid right there. Like, I wonder if he's ever going to like the kid, his potential. Huh?
Be a 6-man?
Yeah. It cannot be with the Blazers because obviously they have Dame and they have CJ, and Melo drops 20 points every now and then, so it can, I want to see this kid with a team. I want to see him with the Phoenix Suns instead of just him, Chris Paul, and Simmons starting instead of Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Devin Booker covering the bench.
My thing with the Blazers is they added Derrick Jones Jr., they added Robert Covington, but their defense didn't get that much better, if any. They're still relying on Dame to do Dame things. You can't do that.
Also Gary Trent Jr.
got traded
to the Raptors.
Yeah.
Going back to our main topic of the NBA trade deadline, right?
Okay, useless fact for you that I found on Twitter that I thought was funny. Gary Trent Jr. and Gary Trent Sr.
Oh, yeah. I think you told me about that.
Yes, both drafted by Portland and traded in their third year, 44 games into the season, to the Raptors.
You know what's
talk about like father, like son.
You know what's kind of what I just had an epiphany about the Raptors. is that I am pretty sure that they were 100% going to trade Kyle Lowry. And it doesn't matter if it was going to be the Heat or anybody else out there looking for a point guard. The Dallas Mavericks should be looking for a point guard, like a Kyle Lowry or even like the Lakers. But Drake made the call, and I do believe that it was a setup. Like, I do believe they set it up that way. And I'm not going to lie, but like Kyle was probably like, hey, man, the house market is pretty bad right now. So if I sell my house now, I'm not going to get as much money if I sell it in the off season. Also, you saw what happened to DeMar DeRozan. They took him to a different team, and now he has to shoot threes in a team that doesn't shoot threes.
Yeah.
So, like, let me finish the season around, break a couple more records. That's it. But
we got to wrap this up. I got some cleaning I have to do for a birthday party.
Me too. Happy birthday to your kid. I got to clean the kitchen. There's no birthday party in my house. All right. So we started with the trade deadline. We talked a ton about the trade deadline. We didn't talk a lot about the buyout market. LaMarcus Aldridge is going to sign somewhere. How do you feel about the buyout market? Really quick, 2 minutes.
So I think the buyout market is going to have just as big, if not bigger, of an impact on the playoff race than the trade deadline did.
Really?
Because I'm going to go into the player you talked, and we're going to use the hypothetical situation that he goes to where you said.
The Lakers?
No. Andre Drummond to the Mavericks.
Oh, yeah. Of course, yeah. I mean, he can't go to the Nets. I mean, they already have.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a cap on how many All-Stars you can have per team and still suck, or no?
So, if you put Andre Drummond in Dallas,
yes,
they could easily jump the 4 games and make it to the 4th seed.
I agree.
And with
your thing is dying. It just
Give me
died.
1 second.
Oh, hey, you're back. Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah.
Your pots just die.
Yeah. Anyway,
Should have had a Samsung.
Well, no, it's because they only charged for like 20 minutes before this. So I could easily see them jumping 4 games. And could you imagine Luka playing in Dallas with fans, having a pick and roll partner, a pick and pop partner, the level of defense and the intelligence of Rick Carlisle running, like choosing what they run?
Yes.
That's easily going to start making waves in the playoffs.
When they made that playoff run, I'm pretty sure Eric Dampier was the center, right? Am I wrong? Am I right? I think so.
Let me look it up.
I want to say it was Eric Dampier. Championship 2011, the roster. I want to say it was Eric Dampier.
No, it was Tyson Chandler.
Was it Tyson Chandler?
It was Tyson Chandler.
Speaking of the Phoenix Suns, do you think Tyson Chandler used to play for the Phoenix Suns?
Yes, he did.
Before he went to the Mavericks?
No, not
to the Knicks. After?
It was after the Knicks that he went there.
Okay. So Tyson Chandler, his role playing with Nowitzki will kind of be what KP will be doing. So Rick Carlisle, in his fucking vampire form, he's living the same life that he lived a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Back 10 years ago, a decade ago exactly. So with the Lakers falling out of the playoffs, assuming that if they do, I think you're onto something, man, with the Mavericks being your sleeper team.
They're gonna they're my dark horse favorite to win the title this year. Like,
I mean, think about it. Tim Hardaway Jr., that's your Caron Butler. Luka is your Jason Kidd, right?
You have your JJ Redick in take your pick out of Peja Stokovic or
we'll go with Peja because Peja was a great shooter. Like,
yeah, but so was
JJ Barea, Corey Brewer was there.
Yeah, Corey Brewer was. he was more of your
Steve Novak.
Yeah, Steve Novak. That's the other one that I was going to say.
Yeah.
Pedro Stokovic and Steve Novak's your JJ Redick.
And who's your Sean Marion? Is that Trey Burke?
No, your Sean Marion for this year's. Let me go pull this up.
comparing, like, see how they would do it. Let me see if I can put him side to side for it. Yeah, I can put him.
I would say Nico Melli fits in for one of your other big shooters. Like
I don't know what it is about international players, but international players, they tend to play better on teams that have not necessarily that have other international players, but maybe they have experience running that type of play.
Dwight Powell is your Ian Mahiney. I would honestly say that your Sean Marion's going to be your freaking KP.
You gotta Nowitzki. It's KP is your Nowitzki.
Yeah, Nowinski. Yeah, I'll go that way.
I mean, Nowitzki was great in everything, but let's be honest over here. He needed to have a point guard.
Dorian Finney-Smith is your
Sean Marion.
Yeah. Josh Richardson's like your JJ Barea. No, Trey Burke is your JJ Barea.
Yeah, Trey Burke is Barea. He could step out, drop 30 on somebody.
Corey Brewer is your Josh Richardson.
Which Corey Brew is also one of those guys, like great scorer, but he never found his concept anywhere, really.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, honestly, and like Maxi Kleber is your
Brendan Haywood.
Yeah, probably your freaking bruiser.
I mean, after this, it doesn't really matter. Like, even Deshaun Stevenson is there. Are we ever going to question why Deshaun Stevenson was like running the G League one year? He was dropping like 30 points. Do we not? I feel like that did not get enough attention. I'm like, hey, why is Deshaun Stevenson out here playing with like the young guys? Like, he doesn't have to like compete for a team, for a spot on the team, but whatever.
So, yeah, I'm going to say that they are I'm not even going to call them a dark horse. They're up there for favorites to come out of the West. I mean, like, I would even take them to push the Lakers. If KP was healthy, KP and Anthony Davis matchup would be an amazing matchup.
I will still take the Lakers. I just feel like Anthony Davis is something that I feel like Anthony Davis is running through the motions, especially playing for the Lakers. Like, he doesn't have to excel. He just shows up to where it drops like 30 points. He doesn't have to worry about
LeBron, I'm going to do what I've always done. Just please find me like no one else has been able to.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. Yeah.
Let me rephrase that, because he had Rondo, and Rondo found him really well.
Yes.
So let me rephrase that to let me do what I've always done, but now that I have you to close out the games, I'm just going to chill now.
Anthony Davis is living a good life.
Yeah. So,
him and Alex Caruso.
Yeah. But I think that's when I'm going to have to wrap up to get some cleaning done.
Yeah, me too. All right. So, closing statement. You got 60 seconds for your closing statement for InTheBox collection. The Celtics are not going to make the playoffs.
I'm going to tell you it's going to be the Celtics versus the Mavericks in the finals. Closing statement. End of story.
I'm going to clip it.
Clip it. I will take all of the heat that comes my way from this.
Just want to make sure that you did. This was your closing statement.
Yeah.
So the
Dallas
Celtics,
Mavericks, Boston Celtics finals.
All right, bro. You are brave, my friend.
Why? Because I chose the 8th seed in the East, and I chose the 7th seed in the West?
No, the Dallas Mavericks, that makes sense. The Celtics, they have to like make the playoffs first.
I mean, you can say the same thing about the Mavericks.
Bro, we're not stating the simple fact that the Lakers are going to drop off and everybody's going to throw up one spot. I'm going to end the broadcast now. Thank you guys for watching the box collection. Thanks for kicking it with us. It was a great night, man. We had viewership throughout the whole show, a little bit of conversation as well. And if we were a little bit more consistent, we'll probably have a little bit more for it. But thank you guys all for watching. My closing statement is that watch out for the buyout market because shit is about to hit the fan.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And good night, InTheBox collection.